Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Band of Enemy Reactions, and dang it, my teeth are starting to hurt. I think it's because I had the ice cream earlier. Ow. I know your teeth kind of hurt after a lot of sugar or something cold or something hot, you know? Yeah, I've got that. Anyway, from what the title says, for those of you who wanted to get into D&D and you don't know anybody personally who gets into this stuff, let me get rid of this real quick. Sorry, I had an almost blank character sheet. And the reason I'm doing this is because I figured I'd go on ahead and make this that way, because I might be setting up a D&D little group thingy. And if I do, obviously with the other player's permission, I'd love to be able to record it. That way, you know, that way I can get better as a GM, because I'd love to be able to do this, but I have no experience in being a GM. I only have experience being a player. And it's been like at least a year or two since I've been able to do it, because of my work schedule getting in the freaking way. Anyway, what you first need to do is hopefully have either a copy of this, or you could probably look it up online. But the first thing you need to do is figure out what kind of character you want to make. There are obviously different races. Let me get to the place that's got all the races. I'm not actually prepared to do this, to be completely honest with you. The different races are dwarves, elves, halflings, human, dragonborn, gnome, half-elf, half-orc, and tiefling. And if you're probably wondering what the heck a dragonborn is, it's a person that has, you know, different colored dragon scales. And they have different abilities. Each race is a different ability. Let's see. Let me go to page 18 on here. It's probably going to be really... like I said, I'm not prepared to do this at all. I just decided I was going to do it. Dang it, the page. Okay. If you want to be... It also depends on what kind of your background as well. Because certain characters do well as certain backgrounds. Like, for example, dwarves are good as, like, barbarians, as paladins, I guess, if you want to do it that way. But they do have different abilities. All the races have different abilities they can get. Like, for example, the trait... It's not abilities, traits. I'm sorry. Like, for example, one of the dwarf traits is that your constitution score increases by 2. So whenever you... I might do this in two different parts or something. It just depends. And, like, there's they have different speeds. They have, like, dark vision. They have an advantage on saving throws against poison. And they have proficiency with battle axe, hand axe, light hammer, and warhammer. That's just an example of what dwarves can do. There are also elves, which most of the time you can be when you're an elf, you're a mage. And when I say a mage, you're either a wizard, sorcerer, or warlock. So, yeah. Actually, what I think I would suggest doing, I don't know if you want to pick your race first or want to pick your background or your class first. Dang, this hurts. Sorry, my teeth are aching a little bit from I just gotta brush my teeth. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the race first. I'm just gonna pick an example of what I would, you know, do. Now, let's see. Which race did I want to go with? But yeah, elves are good with magic. They have an ability that allows them to... They also have dark vision. Their dexterity score can go up by 2. They have keen senses, which means they have proficiency in the perception skill. And when it comes to elves, and there's a couple of other races that get this, but you could have like a sub race, like you could have a wood elf, you could have a high elf, a dark elf, and I think a moon elf. Let me look. Yeah, you can have a sub race of either high elf, wood elf, or dark elf. Sometimes the sub races can be divided even further, which is a sun or moon elf. But that's on the Forgotten Realms. But if you want to add that in as well, depending on your GM, you can. And each of these different races or sub races have different abilities as well. Like essentially, if you're a wood elf, your wisdom score goes up. If you're a dark elf, your charisma score goes up, which is kind of odd because usually the dark elves are seen as the evil elves and they worship some sort of spider god or something like that. I don't know, but no. But anyway, depending on, let's say I'm going to go, for example, I'm going to go with a rogue. That's usually what I do, unless I decide to go with a mage, or in which case I don't know which mage I usually would go for, but let's just go with the rogue just for simplicity's sake. Okay. There are other races that would go good with a rogue, because they usually need dexterity, so an elf would be good, because their dexterity score can go up, because it just naturally, let's see. I think gnomes are also good at, gnomes, halflings are good. I think gnomes can be good too. Humans are essentially a jack of all trades. But yeah, their ability scores each increase by 1, so yeah, they're kind of a jack of all trades. Dragonborns are more like, I guess you could say more magey. Though that is just me. No, actually, no, they can be warriors if they want because their strength increases by 2 and their charisma increases by 1. So, yeah, they can be warriors if you want. But you can make your character into anything you want. But, let's see. Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to find the halfling again, just to see what is it again? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make a halfling rogue this time. I was planning on doing next time I was able to do D&D, but it didn't get to happen. Okay, so we are gonna go with, and you also need to print off one of these. You can get it. It's in the back of the book, and you can go to a copy machine and make them and get them yourself, or you can print them off online. But all these is where you put your ability scores, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. But what you need to do is write down your essentially your, sorry, I cannot do it right. Essentially your race, your background, your player name as well, and your alignment. That's up to you. You can be good, you can be evil, you can be kind of a mix of it. It just depends on what you want your character to do. Though technically, paladins are usually just on the extreme side of the spectrum. Either they're good or they're evil, depending on how you want to play it. Because there are good and evil gods out there for religions. Heck, I just mentioned a freaking spider god, so yeah. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna go on ahead and write my class is rogue, and then my race is a halfling. Hang on, what was a halfling? Yeah, halfling is really small. It's kind of like a gnome, but a little bit bigger. And let's see. Okay, let me help you figure out your ability score. And I've got just a thing on my phone to do that, because I got a random number generator that allows you to pick. Let me see if I can do this. You can pick dice, and in order to be able to do the ability score, you need to have 4 regular dice, 6-sided dice, and you roll them. Let me just hit the button, and you roll them, and you take the smallest number, and you take it out. And you add up the other numbers. So the 2 5s and the 6. 15, 16. Or 10, 16 is what your first number is. So I'd say write them down at the top of the sheet and then do that 6 times. So let me go on ahead and do it again. Ooh, low one. So 5, 7, 11. And these are just random because once you get all the numbers made, then you figure out where they go. Okay, another slightly low one. So at 10, 13. So 13's average. When it gets to the single digits, that's when it gets bad. Ooh, yeah, this one's good. I just said that. Yeah. Hang on. Take out the 1, 2, 4, 10. Yeah, I think this might be the closest one we're gonna get to a single digit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 so far. Ooh, this one's a decent one. 10, 16. Nice. 2 16s. And do it one more time. Okay, so I got the 3, 5, 9, 15. Huh. Okay, hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now that we got that done, here's where you need to figure out your scores. If you're going as a rogue like I am, your best score that you need right now, your score that you're going to need is essentially stuff for deception, perception, persuasion if you're going that way, stealth. So essentially anything with dexterity, I would say charisma too, if you're trying to be one of those persuasive rogues, where you're trying to essentially be, where you can talk yourself out of anything, essentially. So essentially you need to have your bigger points in dexterity, your charisma, and I would say constitution either way, because yeah, you're gonna be, rogues technically are kind of squishy, and when I say squishy, I mean they die easy. Mages are very squishy, depending on which races you use. But yeah, the ones that are the least squishy are the warriors, like the paladins, the barbarians, the monks. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Strength is probably going to be my least. Let's see. Yeah, strength is always going to be my. Usually, I do characters that don't have very good strength, so strength is going to be my weakest. So here, you put this. Hang on, let me show you. In this, you put the however much you get added to it, and then your actual score right here. Like for the example, the 10. Actually, let me find the page and show you guys real quick. Let's see. It's supposed to be near the beginning of the book. Because it's supposed to show you how much to add to, like, however on your ability scores. There's a little chart in here. Okay, actually, let me look at this real quick. But yeah, strength is good for barbarians, fighters, and paladins. Dexterity is good for monks, rangers, and rogues. Constitution is good for everybody, obviously. Intelligence and wisdom are good for anybody who's using magic. And same for charisma is good for anybody who uses magic. So let's see. Okay, here we go. I found it. Let me show you guys. It's up here. You would use this chart to figure out your ability modifier. So for the score of 10, you would have a 0 modifier, which means you don't add anything to it. Hang on. So I will put 10 on strength and then the plus 0. And dexterity is going to be my one of my the 16s. 16. Shit. Don't you hate it when you're using the mechanical pencil and the lead breaks? 16. And the modifier for that one is, ooh, plus 3. Okay. Let's see, I had a 11, 13, and a 15. So the other 16 is going to go on, I'd say my, wait, let me look at that little thing real quick. Actually, let me look at the sheet real quick. Perception is for, oh, I need my wisdom to be high, okay. So yeah, the other 16 is going to go in the wisdom because that's needed for perception. And yeah, you're going to need that if you're going to be a rogue to avoid traps. So that's a +3. I'd say you put the 15 out of the numbers and the Constitution, which would be +2 to your modifier. And with the modifiers, I'll show you guys where to put those in a second. So I got a 13 and I got an 11. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. The halfling. The halfling gets... Hang on. A dexterity score increases by 2. I forgot to add that in. So that makes the dexterity an 18. Which means that the modifier for that is a +4. I am stupid. I gotta remember that. You gotta keep your ability score for your race in this as well. Alright. Now what was I gonna do? Oh, wait. The halflings have a sub-race as well. And, let me see. I'm gonna go with the stout halfling. So that gives my constitution up another as well. So that'll make it a 16, which makes it a +3. Because the stout foot halfling gets a constitution increase of +1. See what I meant about the sub-races? They come in handy. Okay, now I just gotta figure out charisma versus intelligence. 11 or 13 for either one, so it's not gonna be that good either way. You know what? I'm gonna go with charisma on this one for the 11, and then the 13 is for the intelligence. Okay, the 13 is a +1, and the 11 is a +0. And then the +0. Alright, so I got that all done. You guys can probably see it where I wrote it all down. Okay, the ability scores, the plus modifiers or whatever, they go up here. And then you add them to all this as well. And actually you end up picking, dang it, how many do you pick? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but you're supposed to be able to pick so many skills that you were skilled in. Oh, okay. Hang on. Since my character's gonna be a rogue, let me pick that real quick. It's a ranger. Now we just need to grab the rogue background, because you get proficiencies in skills based on your background and your class. So, yeah. Those are what you are essentially proficient in, and you get to add however much, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. I'd have to look. Let me see. Okay, the rogue. Okay. Proficiency. Your skills. Choose 4 from your acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What I'm going to pick for this rogue is essentially the standard stuff for a rogue is stealth, perception, acrobatics. Wait, is acrobatics strength? I can't remember if that was dexterity. Yeah, it's dexterity, acrobatics, stealth, perception, and persuasion. No, wait, do I want to do persuasion for that one? Hang on, let me look at the skills real quick. It's been a long time since I've done this. The only thing that involves strength is athletics. There's... Huh. And, you know what? I think it's gonna go with, acrobatics, stealth, perception, and I'd say deception. So essentially, add the modifiers up here. Is +0, +4, +3, +1, +3, and then +0. Okay. Dang it, I don't remember. Okay, I need to. Okay, I said deception. Acrobatics. Perception. And stealth. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Let me look this up real quick. That's not there. I need to figure this out real quick. Customizing ability scores. Sorry, I'm trying to. Dang it. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for part 1, and part 2 I'll be trying to explain everything else. Like I said, I was not prepared to actually make this. I didn't do this ahead of time. I just decided to do it on the spot, essentially, and so, yeah, it's kind of wonky. I apologize for that. I will try and do this a little bit better next time. If I can, I will figure out how to do it. You know, add it onto the screen here, so that way I don't have to hold up my book and stuff. Anyway, I will see everybody next time.